Nikka. Anya. Like a bottle of Budweiser is 669 yen. Excuse me? Crazy thing in Japan. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Mayday-san here, and today we're gonna be talking about some crazy things in Japan, starting with Nikka whiskey. And you guys saw it in my video, and I called it politically incorrect whiskey. To the naked eye, if anyone sees the word Nikka, it's kind of scary and it'll probably demonetize you for this, but I promise you it is not what it seems. It's actually Japan's first whiskey. Founder was Masataka Takutsuru, and he's known as the father of Japanese whiskey. Long story short, in 1900s, he liked whiskey so much he went all the way to Scotland, and then he discovered and studied whiskey, brought home a wife named Rita, and then they came back to Hokkaido, and then they said, hey, you know what, let's make some whiskey too. So then they decided to make their own whiskey. It's actually called Nippon Kaju, which is like Japanese juice, the juice of Japan. You know how Japanese, they want to say McDonald, they want to say Mac. Instead of Nippon Kaju, they're gonna be Nikka. Notice that there's a hard K, all right? That's the only way you're gonna stay safe here, but yes, that's why it's called Nikka. And I tried it actually, and it's kind of mid. Number 2 crazy thing in Japan, the amount of Anya everywhere here in Japan, and I honestly can't enjoy the anime anymore. Not only is the anime kind of just mid, first it was cool because, you know, they were doing the whole thing, they were setting up the whole plot, they got the dog, they got the wife, they got the husband, they got the whole mission, but then now it's just like, Anya doing whatever she wants and just doing some random story, and the Yoda's on the side doing oh so that's man. It doesn't really help that they kind of shove everything down their throats, and I'm a pretty cynical person. I work in marketing, I know how it is, but like every opportunity you're making something about Anya, it's just like, oh my god, Anya sandwich, Anya nuts, Anya chocolate, Anya beefy, Anya everything. It's just Anya Burger King. Like, we're gonna make a video on the Burger King later, but like, it's ironic because the author themselves really likes to draw like dark, really kind of weirdish anime, kind of like Bakemonogatari. He decided like he wanted to make something commercially successful, and you know, I can't blame him, you gotta chase that bag. He made Anya. He doesn't even like Twilight apparently, but apparently somebody corrected me on Twitter and they said, hey, you know what, you're wrong. It was a mistranslation. He doesn't hate it, but you know, he just did it for the, you know, he did it for the money kind of thing. I was like, okay, you know what? It's kind of like Rad Wimps, you know, when they made the song for Kimi no Na wa. It's like, that's not even how their old music is at all. If you ever went back for Kimi no Na wa, the music's completely different. And it's kind of the same thing. So it kind of sucks. It's like when you have a favorite song and you really like that song and then they just spam it everywhere. So you don't want to listen to that song anymore. So it's the same thing. And now Chainsaw Man is probably going to go down the same route. Pochita everywhere. Like, how are you going to have so much merch for Pochita? I've seen him for like one episode. Like, he is cute. Don't get me wrong. Like, how? Like, how is there so much merch? There's like barely anything to work with. And it's really weird because a lot of these young kids, I can't believe they watch this. Like, they watch Demon Slayer, and then Demon Slayer is like, it's pretty bloodied. It's pretty gory for like kids. And when I used to teach in kindergarten, like even the kindergarten kids are like, oh, I love Nezuko. Oh, I love the Tanjiro. I'm like, bro, they like cut off heads and stuff. And now they're gonna be watching Chainsaw Man. Did you guys see that last episode of Chainsaw Man? Oh my God, Denji-kun first kiss. I was shocked. Oh God. It tastes good though, probably. And then the ending of the episode was like crazy. It's like, oh, okay, there's kids watching this. Like, what? So speaking of Chainsaw Man, Denji-kun first kiss. No, it was not the hui hui. It was not the barf. It's actually something called Monjayaki. And according to Google, Monjayaki batter is softer and is spread evenly throughout a plate. No, it has like all the condiments, the same thing, like mayonnaise, dry seaweed, bonito flakes, all that kind of stuff, bean sprouts. And it's like not in a pancake form. It's kind of just like they spread it out and they kind of just make a bowl out of it and then they cook it. And then it kind of like hardens over time. So it's kind of like an inside out okonomiyaki, which is more like a pancake. And I tell you right now, it was kind of nasty looking at it when I ate it, and it kind of reminded me of Denji-kun first kiss. But it's actually pretty good. You put a little sauce on there, you put a little, you know, a little bit of young stir. It's actually pretty good when it hardens and stuff like that. But I would definitely take okonomiyaki over that any day. But at the end of the day, you're gonna be paying to cook your own food, so I guess it doesn't really matter. The next crazy thing in Japan is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and it's not doing so hot. You guys can tell. You know, and it's kind of a shame because they had all these events, the treasure hunt we did, they had like the Pokemon merchandise, they had the Pokemon event, they got all the things like, you know, all over the streets and stuff like that. But then the game is is like mid. No, the game is actually good. I actually really enjoy the gameplay. And I think a lot of players actually just enjoy Pokemon as a casual experience, not so much competitive, but it is just a shame because graphics are horrible and the performance is like 10 frames per second. It kind of sucks. I think like the Japanese domestic market doesn't really care about that. Returning items is not really a thing either, so probably just an international thing. It's like the Anya thing, like that Pokemon everything. Pokemon rice balls, Pokemon cake, Pokemon donut. I mean, that's cool and all, but it would help if the game was actually good. But the last crazy thing in Japan is the McDonald's burgers at McDonald's. And there are 3 of them, and I made a video on them. And they had the Kalbi burger. Like it was so bad, it was horrible. Like I remember I tried it. It's like, oh cool, it has like a soccer bun burger and all that. And then the Kalbi, oh my god, it's like a sweet mess. It's gross. It's like you're eating like expired sweet garbage. And then the other one, the jalapeno one, which is weird because the Brazilians don't even eat jalapenos. So it's like, what is this? What is this? A lot of people in my comment section are like, we don't even eat jalapenos. What is this? It's not even Spanish. They're Portuguese, so it's just like, okay, we gotta get the jalapeno anyway. You eat it anyway. It tastes good. It was okay. It was mid. The only thing I didn't like about that one is that the cheese actually tastes like Cheese Whiz. It didn't taste like actual cheese. You know when you have that really like cheap cheese flavor? I hate that. It's horrible. But the kebab one is the best one in the whole world. It was so good. I loved it so much. The first time I ever had the kebab one, I was like, this is gonna sell out immediately. Give it 2 weeks. And guess what? It's gone. You can't find it anymore. At the time of this recording, it's gone. That one and the jalapeno one. Guess what? The only one left is the Kalbi one because it's ass. So, I don't know, McDonald's in Japan is so cool because every month they have something new for you to try. And I kid you not, I had about 10 of those kebab sandwiches and I never got sick of it. And speaking of the World Cup, if you ever go to the Hub or any kind of sports bar right now, you're gonna be bombarded with so many people in that bar gonna watch these games. And the funny thing is, these games are like super late at night, maybe sometimes like 3 in the morning. So people are like super dedicated to watch soccer. It kind of reminds me of when rugby was a thing here and everyone was so hyped about rugby, but only when Japan was playing. So the other day, Japan beat Germany 2-1 in the World Cup, and everyone was super hype about it. They went to Shibuya, and the Shibuya, there's this whole thing, and everyone's just like cheering in the streets, and the cops are like, oh no, don't cheer, don't have your freedom, whatever. And then Osaka, people jumping into the river, even though there's signs specifically saying to not do that, but it's a huge thing. And then today is like not Japan playing, so actually I don't know if the Hub or any of these bars are gonna be packed with people, because Japan only cares about when Japan is involved in things. When rugby was a thing, as soon as Japan was kicked out in like the semifinals or whatever, nobody cared about rugby anymore. But I think in this case, soccer is a much more popular sport here. So I think even if Japan were to lose, I think maybe about 80% of the hype would die, but there's still people who would watch it because, you know, you gotta watch your boy Portugal, you gotta watch like at Italy, and it's all just a big bandwagon here, but that's cool. It's a crazy thing in Japan, I suppose, you know, you just get hyped, get some drinks, pay $7 for a Budweiser. I went to the Hub, pretty much the British pub, and then you wanna get a bottle of Budweiser. A bottle of Budweiser is 669 yen. Excuse me? I'd rather pay for that ale or a pint of Kirin for 900. Huge ripoff, but yeah, I get it, you know? I don't really care about soccer. I only watch the semifinal. Who else is guilty? Let me know in the comment section down below if you're guilty of that. But anyway, that was some crazy thing in Japan, and we'll see you guys next week. And if you want to watch something else on my channel, click right here. Click it.